For the past couple of days, I have been doing some serious brainstorming, and I think it will be of help if I brought it here on the platform. Bitcoin, as we know it, came after the 2008 crash by Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, the main intention there was to decentralize finance, to bring about a payment system where people can send funds to each other without the need of a third party. So, the key thing there is decentralization. Security is something that it could not do without, but what sets it apart from the previous or the other financial system that we still have is decentralization. So it has all been about decentralization. Now, this is something that some people don't immediately realize how important it is. Decentralization has always been the key and has always been the goal of cryptocurrency, which means that should be a guiding compass as to which cryptocurrency to hold for the long term. And by long term, I'm talking about 10, 20 years. So, we got Ethereum by Vitalik Buterin. Yup, this guy. He took kind of the same idea of Bitcoin and turned it into a multi-application network. So we see that Ethereum's focus is on applications. Bitcoin can only transact BTC, which is the currency of the Bitcoin network. And Ethereum is a base layer, a network where we can have applications on it. So over the years, Ethereum has grown to become the mother of these applications, the powerhouse of NFTs and even DeFi applications. So after Ethereum, there have been other competing networks because there are some things that Ethereum is not good at, such as speed and scalability. However, Ethereum does have layer 2 scaling solutions such as Polygon Matic that fill in that void. So we see that other cryptos like Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, Cardano are all competing with Ethereum for the same thing, a base layer for applications. Now, with the rise of all of these different cryptos, of which people will choose to do transactions on one or two of them for various reasons, there has to be something that connects all of them. That is where, of course, Cosmos comes in. So I believe Cosmos will unite these blockchains. Now, you can get more information about Cosmos here, and I will leave the link in the description. So if we see that Cosmos is uniting these blockchains, all competing with each other, then there should be a crypto that takes daily information, say the price of commodities, onto the blockchain. That is where Chainlink comes in. And yes, Chainlink is also here. And Terra Luna is also here. You can know more about it here. Link in the description. So the question that keeps going through my mind is, what have we not touched yet? Like, what is the next big thing that will be all over the place that we have not touched yet? That is what keeps me up at night. So the first, which we have already talked about on this channel, which I think they are grossly underrated, is storage. People are yet to see how important storage is, but of course we on this channel know exactly how important it is. We know that as people continue to talk about the metaverse and are buying metaverse tokens, it is out of speculation, mostly. So if that is out of speculation, then what will happen when people start to spend more than 50% of their days in the metaverse? This is what many people are not thinking about yet, and this will also come along with its own problems. Storage will be the first. Being in the metaverse that stores its own data on the cloud will be like having slow internet connection. The data will need to be stored on something closer to the person inside of the metaverse. By that I mean, it will necessitate edge computing. Edge computing is like a more technologically advanced form of cloud storage, where the data is not only stored in the cloud, but it's stored in devices geographically closer to the end users. This is what Stratos will do. As we go more into this revolutionary era, people will actually start to use these services. That is when most people will understand why they should have bought earlier. So the idea is not just about buying now and selling when the price goes up, but it's about buying and actually using the service. For example, on the Stratos network, everything will be paid for in Stos. So if you actually want to use the network, you will have to use Stos as the means of payment. This is kind of similar to buying NFTs on Ethereum. If you bought Ethereum a year ago, it would have just costed you about $200 to $300. Now it will cost you about $3,800 more for the same coin. So we see that it is not just about buying crypto and selling it when the price goes up, but actually holding it. Because if its use case arises, you will need it. So what I find particularly intriguing about the Stratos network is that decentralization, the core value of cryptocurrency. Stratos will make it in a way that people will be able to set up nodes, same like mining Bitcoin, all around the world. This will bring about decentralized storage. So you can use your device or your computer to mine Stratos. We will go more into this as the bear market approaches, considering that we are not already in it. And again, what is particularly intriguing about it is it will reduce latency. Now, latency is one of the core factors of virtual reality. Latency is an integral part of virtual reality, and without the best storage solution, virtual reality will simply not exist, except it is centralized and therefore slow for some regions. If we look at their roadmap for next year, then we will see that this is when the mainnet will be launched. Now, if you've been following up on my predictive analysis tutorials, you will hear me say that I think this bull market can resume in February. Given that this is launched the same time as this bull market resumes, that will give this a boost in price. Hopefully. There are a lot of things coming for this next year, so be on the lookout. With this mainnet launch, that is when we can start staking on the Stratos network. That is also one of the things that we will be doing actively as the bear market comes upon us. Staking, mining, gaming will be some of the things that I will put more emphasis on as the bear market approaches. This is considering that we are not in it already. Now, we have also seen Web 3.0, and I have talked about Saito on this channel, which I think will be a big mover in this category. And yes, you can learn about Saito here and here. I will leave the links in the description for your ease. So we can see that Web 3.0 is still on the topic of decentralization, giving you the ability to own your data. It is still on the topic of decentralization. Now, before I go for what I think will be a huge narrative in 5 to 10 years, I would like to remind you that if you are new to crypto, all of these Saito and Stratos and other small cap cryptocurrencies that I may be mentioning on this channel are extremely risky cryptocurrencies. They are very risky. We can see a lot of price volatility in these young cryptocurrencies. And by that I mean your investment of $100 can easily be worth $50 in a week, which means your investment can drop by 50% in a single week. So it is always, well, not financial advice, better to start with large caps. And also know that the large caps I recommend are not entirely safe. This is considering that everyone who chooses to dive into crypto waters is already aware of risks. So it will make no sense if I only brought cryptos that can only 2x in 5 years. You would be better off with government bonds, wouldn't you? So the cryptos that I think are somewhat safe, and I like putting that in quotes, are Cosmos's Atom, Terra Luna, and Chainlink. You can watch it here, link in description. I do recommend these large caps because they are a great way of keeping your initial investment before you go into small or micro caps. Now, in the next 5 years, and this is what I was just thinking about, cryptocurrency as a whole can face a big problem with quantum computing. Quantum computing will make it possible to hack a blockchain and input invalid transactions. This will be a serious problem to crypto because most or all cryptocurrency blockchains are built without being quantum resistant. I will make a separate video for this, but as I have been thinking of this, I have been looking for cryptos that are quantum resistant or are trying to be quantum resistant. And of course, I mostly look at small cap cryptos, cryptocurrencies that you can do a very tiny investment and it becomes a mammoth investment. The reason for that is when the narrative comes along, these small cap cryptos turn to absolutely explode in price, of course. I have been having eyes on sell frame for some time now, and the reason I haven't brought it here yet is because of the uncertainty in the markets. I will also be doing a predictive analysis video for Bitcoin later on, so stay tuned for that. Now, this crypto got my eye because of its supply. It has a maximum supply of 30 million cell, and most of it is already in circulation. I also looked at its on-chain metrics and it tells me that people are hodling this crypto. It is built from the ground up to be a quantum-resistant layer 1 blockchain. So I think it is solving a future problem. And the way this crypto works, which I will make a dedicated video for it, it works somewhat like Polkadot, where it offers slots like parachains on Polkadot, but on this blockchain they are called cell chains. To make your understanding simple, when I make a dedicated video for this crypto, watch my video on what are Polkadot parachains here. I will leave the link in the description. Now, of course, I am not saying you should go and invest in that crypto because I am not a financial or investment advisor, but I'm just saying that it is worth considering given the low circulating supply. In case you don't know what that means, low circulating supply or maximum supply converts to high price appreciation. So that was my thought process, which I did not want to keep to myself. We see here that Bitcoin continues to troll us, so stay tuned for a predictive analysis video later. And also, some people have been asking me at what price I will want to go into Stratos. I am constantly dollar cost averaging my way into Stratos and Saito, but I will go in harder if the price goes less than $1 for Stratos, and if it goes to a cent or less for Saito. Now, that can happen if Bitcoin tanks, as we have been saying in the predictive analysis videos. And a quick update on Stratos. Fundamental Labs has joined the crew of investors. Now, if you don't know, Fundamental Labs is invested in a whole lot of cryptocurrencies in the space, including Filecoin. Now, Filecoin is the closest competing cryptocurrency to Stratos by virtue of use case and by maximum supply of coins. And for Stratos to equal Filecoin, it will be 148x. Now, the website for this is marketcapof.com. You can use this website to compare the price potential of any cryptocurrency. But note that it should always be a cryptocurrency of the same category. So Filecoin is also a storage cryptocurrency, which presents less fundamentals than Stratos. So Stratos is basically 148x from its market cap. When it gets to that market cap, its price will be $219. Keep in mind, it is only $1.49 as of now, which I think could go lower. Know that waiting for it to go lower is also a risk. So everything in crypto is essentially a risk. Waiting for the price to go lower and it goes up, you will miss out. And investing here and it goes down, you have also lost. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you did learn something from it, please give it a like. It will go a long way to support the channel. And also consider subscribing with your notifications on so that you get alerted when I make the next video. And until then, stay safe.